Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. And that will give us a little bit of silage, which in turn, will give us a little bit of other stuff. So what do we got at the moment? We got 5,000 litres of silage right there. I tip out all of this grass. It takes a while for it to convert, so it'll be tomorrow before we've got all of this lot converted, I would think. That'd be my guess. And then we can come back to it. So we've got the canola being planted in the fields. And it'll be the day after. Well, we might be able to harvest it tomorrow, but I suspect it'll be the day after that we're looking at harvesting for that one. We're going to want to be getting going soon with our muck spreading on these fields. Actually, we could start doing that right now while we're still picking up. So you over here. I'm not going to bother getting the second seed drill in here. We'll just stick with this one. And we will go to you right there. 7,000 litres of slurry in here. I will run this one on round to the slurry tank there. We can fill this up quickly and then just set the hired help going on that field there. Won't take very long, and you should be able to do that pretty quick. So we get on to you right there. And 240,000 litres. We don't have a shortage of slurry anymore. That's absolutely fantastic. And I mean, yes, admittedly, the thing that's really made our money in this series, because I haven't cheated in any money, I've just kind of done it myself, but the thing that's really made our money in this series has been the solar panels. So I'm kind of thinking, at least to start with, I won't be using things like solar panels in the next series, because I would like to build up from the basics. Even though I also want to try and use a new piece of machinery every day. Let's see if we can do it like that. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about the whole using a blocked by an object. You're not blocked by anything. You're just being stupid. That is it. It's just sheer blind stupidity. The kind of stupidity that ensures that you never get to work for me ever again. I'm sure you're devastated, as anyone would be. They are. They're absolutely devastated. Anyone would be devastated if they found out that they couldn't work for the likes of me anymore. I'm sure of it. Absolutely sure of it. I will say no more about it. Nope, I don't want you to get into the comment section and tell me whether or not you think you'd be devastated if you couldn't work for a wonderful boss like me, because I already know the answer. Of course you would be. You don't need to say anything else. Well, I already know you would be devastated to the core of your being. So we'll run down this way now, and we will grab the little bit that's in here, which is probably about half a trailer load. And then we can finish up by doing the slightly bigger field. We've already got the slurry underway, which means that actually that should finish at about the same time that we finish doing the field finishes getting planted. They should finish both about the same time. And then it's just a little bit of slurry to spread on the last of the grass fields. And then we'll be done. Everything will be finished. All will be tickety-boo with the world. I'll swing on around here. There's other aspects of this new game coming out that are quite... And I already said that I want to do a trial and see if we get a tractor and a rock collector and a plough. Can we repeatedly run over a field and remove the stones from the field? Will it allow us to do it with the hired help? Is the big thing to start off with. Because if we can't do it with the hired help, I'm thinking I probably won't want to be doing very much in the way of picking up rocks. Although I believe you can roll them back in as well. I think we've... Yeah, well, I have already talked about that. But I'm pretty sure you can roll them back in. Can we make money out of it. This is something, because I know that we can sell the stones. We can gather up the stones with a rock collector, and then we can tip them out into a pile, and then you can load them into a trailer, and you can take them off, and you can sell them. Can we make money doing that? Like, if we have a field. I know I've already said this, and I don't apologize for saying it again, because this is something, this is a burning question I have with this game, is can I make money growing stones in the field? Right? I really, really, really want to be able to grow stones in a field, because I think that'd be such a cool thing. Growing stones, like, genuinely such an awesome thing. That's the closest that we're going to get to an unmodded game having a quarry in it at the moment, I think. Like, literally, you're running your own quarry on a farm by just ploughing the field and then going through and picking out the stones and selling them. You're essentially running a quarry, aren't you? So if we can have an actual quarry running in the game, that is going to be amazing. So I'm going to have a tractor, I'm going to have a trailer, probably it's going to have to be a tractor with a front loader so that we can put the stones in the thing. And that's going to be what that field is all about. So we'll try and keep an eye on how much money we make just from that field and how much the hired help charges. We'll need a tractor, a trailer, a front loader, a bucket, a stone picker, and a plow. Those are the items that we're going to need. Can we turn that into cold, hard cash in our hands to make us the wealthiest people in the valley? In the valley? Well, on the wealthiest people on the plains, because this one's going to be the Elm Creek thing, which is flat, if I remember. From what I've seen of the preview of it, it's mostly flat. There may be some non-flat stuff there, but a lot of it looked disturbingly flat. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cope with this alien landscape that I'm going to have to play on. It's going to be weird and alien. Very, very alien. Anyway. Enough of that. We'll deal with that when we get to it, I guess. Yeah. Quarry. Can I make a working quarry in the game? This is probably the one aspect that I am looking forward to the most, is being able to answer that question. I feel that I'm probably just going to... It's going to be very anticlimactic, isn't it? You build yourself up for these things. You think, yep, we could do this. We could have a string of fields with a tractor in each. Maybe, you know, one tractor between two. And we could have our entire farm just as a working quarry. We don't grow crops. We don't do anything else. We just grow stones. We harvest stones. We do the ploughing. And then we do the harvesting. And then we do the ploughing. And then we do the harvesting. And so it goes on in a glorious cycle. And the stones just keep being bursting forth from the earth. Mother Nature provides. Deep down in her dark core, she has an never-ending and everlasting supply of stone that we can use to further our stone-growing empire. It's going to be magnificent. I can feel it in my waters. Let me go and grab that little tiny bit right there. And then I'm going to drive back up this way, because there's a few other odd little bits that we may have missed. And then when I've gone and picked those up, there we go. I'm going to... There, see, there's a couple little bits just up there. I'm going to go and empty this one out, and I'm hoping that the rest of what's in this field is stuff that will get all picked up in the next load. At least this is what I'm hoping is going to happen. So you have finished. So I actually want to take that one over to the next field. So we'll take this one over and we'll start this one emptying out. And then I will jump on to that machiney doodah over there. And I will race towards the storage tank. A little bit more, shall we? There we go. We've got 10,000 litres of silage right there. So we want to go... So who finished... Oh! I thought this one had finished his task. It was this one that finished his task. It's got 4,282 litres of slurry left inside the tank. Which is not enough to do anything. Not right now, it's not. We will go and fill this one up, and then we will drive on down that way and up that hill over there. We'll go to the railway field, because that one's all empty and ready to go. And we will do the next bit. Is there any... Okay, that whole field is covered. 619 cows in there. The water is full. Actually, the water's still not full. Is that going to reach 500,000? Probably is, you know. Right, I wanted to have a look over here and just see if we can remove the lime requirement bit. Yep, that's all done with fertilizer. We're not bothering to fertilize the rest of this anymore. That's not really something that we need to be concerned about. And 495,200 is the limit on there. So almost 500,000. 20,000 here. This should be enough to go and do the railway field. So if we focus on this bit a minute and we take this out and start the spreading in that field, we can then come back and we can keep going with picking up the grass, which means that there's going to be very little slurry spreading that we need to do after the last of the grass has been picked up. And that way sort of everything concludes all at the same time. And then we can start fast forwarding time ready for the next harvest. Which means that we will also be able to grow the number of cows that we've got. Because obviously we've got in here, we're getting a new cow every 2 hours now. So we're getting 12 cows per day added to the total, which is quite impressive actually. And by the time we fast forward 24 hours, there's going to be another big chunk of money that goes in. So we can buy a load more cows. I reckon that we will hit 1,000 cows before we leave the series. We will hit 1,000 cows before we leave. Whether or not we can actually ever feed those cows is completely different and unrelated to concluding this series. Because, you know, we won't be here and it won't be our problem. We're going to be selling the farm to someone else and it's going to be their problem. And so they can worry about that rather than us. And I feel this is probably the best way to do it. Because I honestly don't think that what we've got here at the moment is enough to be feeding and dealing with 1,000 cows. Now, I'm going over here like this, because it's just going to be easier to start like that. See? So much easier. Quite sure why I was wiggling off like that, but there we go. And then I'm going to go back again in the opposite direction. I'll bring you all the way out to there like that. I don't think that this tanker is actually enough to finish this field. We could switch this over, actually, so that the hired help takes it from the tank rather than using it from the slurry tanker itself, which, to be honest, would probably be a sensible thing to go and do. So what I want to do is I want to drive up here, up this side, all the way to the top end of the field, so that I can just do a pass along the top end of the field up there and allow enough room for the tanker to be able to turn itself round. So otherwise it's not going to be able to do that. So I'll bring you to that point right there like that, and then we will back out round there like that. And good job there's no train coming out of that tunnel, or we'd have lost the tail end of our tanker. There'd have been political promises everywhere. And we wouldn't want that. They can keep those political promises to themselves. So we will run all the way along here. There we go. And then we can come back over this way. So there is a setting in here that we could use. Crop destruction, periodic ploughing, helper refill, seed, fertilizer, slurry, buy, large cow pasture. We're going to do helper refill from the large cow pasture right there. So it won't cost money, he just pulls it automatically from the large cow pasture. Which makes life a lot easier for us, doesn't it? No running backwards and forwards. So he's going up through there. Yes, there is a bit of money being involved because he is taking it from else, because he's still being paid his wages. But now it's being drawn directly from slurry tank, which is a lot better for us. Oh. There's a little tiny bit right there that's not going to get done. So I'm going to make sure that it does get done by doing it myself. If you want something done right, you've got to do it yourself. Let's just do that bit there. There we go. Right. Round and round we go. Right there. I am very excited to see what kind of maps we end up getting for FS22. Excuse me. Very excited about seeing the maps that we get, because they kind of, once you've played through on the base game maps for a bit, the new maps that you end up getting, they are what make or break the game, really, aren't they? The new maps, the map mods that come out, that will make or break the game. You've got various different ones that will be on offer, and some of them will end up looking absolutely amazing. Some of them will not so much. That's just the nature of the beast. Some people will look at a map and think, oh, wow, this is just the most incredible map I've ever seen. And other people look at the same map and think, ugh, I don't want to play on that. Why would I waste my life away playing on that map? That just doesn't do anything for me. That is the nature of the beast. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of maps turn up, what map makers do with the production facilities and things like that. I've already said what I think about people who keep badgering the mod creators. I just don't do it, right? Just leave them alone and let them produce stuff in their own time. We will absolutely, no doubt, get things like the Chellington map and ones similar being really, really badly converted by someone that doesn't know what they're doing, and then releasing them on non-official channels, and then people trying to share those and trying to use them, and then also wondering why their game doesn't work. Just follow the Giants pages, right? Look on the Giants pages, follow the Giants pages, and see what's going on there, because that is where you will find the official releases of the mods, and like the big stuff. And then there will be some other ones. There's the Stevie mods. Stevie only releases his mods on his Facebook page. If you're getting them from anywhere other than the Facebook page, then Stevie does not approve. Stevie only approves of his own releases on his Facebook page. And he's usually I think he was pretty quick with the FS19 stuff. He starts basically just taking the in-game models of the vehicles and trailers and everything that they've got, and just adding different color options and different wheel options and things like that, and then pushing them out for release. And then he slowly, like last time that's what he did, and then he went back through and he added a whole load of other things like additional capacity and stuff like that. That's only on his Facebook page. I think it's just called Farming Simulator Mods, to be honest. I'm not quite sure. I don't think if you search Stevie Mods, it actually comes up. But fortunately for you all, if you travel into the darkest depths of my Discord page, you will find a channel there that has links to mods that I use in any of my series that don't exist on the actual official Giants pages. So if you would like to get your grubby little paws on those links, then go and join my Discord channel, and you'll be able to find them. And there is a link in that lot to the Stevie pages. There may be a link in my description and the videos to Stevie pages, but I generally stopped providing links in my description because I ran out of space. You've only got limited space, and I've got other things that I want to link in there. So, yeah, join the Discord, take a look in there. And that way you'll be able to keep up to date with whatever Stevie is doing. You do need to have Facebook, though. Right? He doesn't release it anywhere else, so if you don't have Facebook, it's going to be a little bit tricky for you to be able to manage. I will admit that up front. If you don't have Facebook, you may struggle to get hold of Stevie's stuff. But that's just the way it is. That's how he runs things. I, for one, am quite looking forward to getting hold of the Stevie stuff for this particular series. The other ones, doesn't matter so much. Yeah, it's handy to sometimes have a vehicle that I can put a different colour on or something like that. But for the increased power, capacity, stuff like that, the other two series that I do, it doesn't really fit in with them. It does fit with this series, and fits rather nicely. So I'm hoping that he will do some things that will be increased capacity and stuff like that. In particular, I'm hoping he gives his special treatment to a couple of the really nice new things. Okay, so well, actually, you can just sit there for a minute. You're still running, surprisingly. You haven't got that much to go, though, have you? All right, we'll trust you. We'll trust that you can keep going with that. Yeah, the Stevie things for this series, that's what I'm quite looking forward to. Quite looking forward to being able to get hold of a few things for this one early on. The grape harvester in particular, I'm really hoping he turns his attention to that one fairly early on and gives the grape harvester an overhaul and increased speeds and stuff like that. As far as capacity goes, I don't know how to convert any kind of unit, any kind of vehicle from the base game into a separate mod. Now, Giants do actually have tutorials on how to do that. They're more than happy for you to take their machinery and twist it into whatever unholy creation that you can think of. And they're absolutely delighted for you to go and do that. They've got no complaints with that at all, but I don't know how to start. But if I can get hold of someone else's conversion, and then I can also go and convert it further, so I can, like, add in extra bits. So, like the sugarcane harvester, which I did actually convert for the time-lapse series, and I added in a capacity onto it. That I was able to do. I was actually able to add in a capacity. I mean, I didn't type any of the code myself. I simply took the bit that added capacity to another machine and copy-pasted that and dumped it into the sugarcane harvester mod that I was using, and it worked. So, yes, there's probably cleaner and tidier ways of doing the coding on it, but it worked, and that was the main thing. That was all that really mattered to me. Well, as you can see by the change of the currency up there, I am on a new recording round, and this is likely to be the last one, if everything has been calculated correctly by yours truly. Which means that there's a couple things that I want to try and get done before we finish, because I figured that, you know, we'll have at least a small goal. I did talk about having some big blowout where we kind of level everything, but no, we're not going to do that. Decided against doing that. So what we're going to want to do instead is we're going to want to make sure that we have everything. Okay, yeah, I'm going to allow this. I'm going to let this one carry on and turn around and go back up the field again, and we'll finish that bit, and then we'll manually go around the outside edge. What I'd like to do is I want to get 1,000 cows. That's what I'd like to do. I'd like to reach 1,000 cows. Now, we have a limited amount of straw in there, and if we have even more cows, we can have even more limited amounts. So it could end up being quite interesting. We'd almost certainly have to go and buy some straw, which is going to be a considerable challenge, to be honest. That is definitely going to up the ante as far as challenge is concerned. There's a little bit of manure in there that we could pick up and then take off and sell, which is something that I was considering doing. If we have a look in here at the moment, manure is 182,698. Now, I don't know if that is going to change very much. I've got slurry over here that we want to spread, and how much do we actually need to spread on our fields? We've just got this one field here still to spread with slurry, so we can get this one started at least. Whizzing in round here, and we only need to do the outside round, and then the hired help should be able to take over and do the rest. and they will pull it directly from the tank, so long as there is at least a little bit of slurry in the machine. If there's no slurry in it at all, the hired help doesn't actually pull it out of the main supply. It's just a little quirk of how it works. So we'll stop that one right there and bring that one back round. Really looking forward to the new game. I may or may not have mentioned that already. My excitement for this new game grows with every passing minute. Now, by the time you watch this episode, you could very well, I could very well have already found out if I'm able to get an early copy of the game or not. I really hope that I do. I'm ever hopeful. Let's just say that. I'm ever hopeful that I will be able to be showing you the new game. And yes, there are some of you who've said that you don't want to see content before the game is released. That's fair enough. But there are also plenty of you who've said that, yes, you definitely want to see something of the game before it's released. And make as much as you possibly can. So I will start new series on the game as soon as I'm able. So if I am lucky enough to get it early, then you will see content from the game the moment I'm allowed to post it. There is always restrictions on when we're allowed to post such things, as you can imagine. So if we get it, then we get told when we're allowed to release stuff, and that is something that you do not violate. You absolutely don't. Not if you ever want to be considered for it ever again, because if you do go and violate it, you get put on a little list. Your name is added to a list, and if your name is on that list, you ain't ever coming in again, sunshine. Ever. That's it. They never ever take your name off of that list. You get one chance, and if you have your name added to the list for being a naughty boy, then they will never ever trust you again. And who can blame them? There's a lot at stake with this. They don't want the game being released early. They don't want things being messed up for other people. The people who get the game... It has happened in the past. Some people have released videos early, and some people have done live streams and released the video like a couple of days early, and yeah, it's that they do quickly get pulled down. But is it really worth giving up that opportunity to get the early access to it? Because you will never ever be given it again. And not only is your name sort of added to the list of, you know, naughty children for that one gaming company, but they do talk to each other. And so you will find that your name gets added to all kinds of lists that you wish your name wasn't added to, and you won't be able to do it again. So there's no way that I would be risking that. Absolutely would not want to be risking that. So yeah, I will abide by every rule that they throw at me. Although I have never had them throw any unreasonable rules. Every single thing that they have said has been quite reasonable, which is why I've got no problems at all with following through with it. Now, what are you doing? It's like he's trying to turn around now to go on round the field. Don't really know what's going on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually do a little bit here. I'm going to run up through here, and we'll just finish this one off. We've got the slurry tanker working in the field up there, so we don't need to worry about that one. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.